Hi everyone. Today my topic is teens should not be using social media. So as we know, social media is very common in today's world and almost half of us might even have it. But why is it bad? One of the greatest inventions of this generation is social media, which can either shape you as a person or ruin your reputation. Do you have any social media platforms? Well, social media can portray both real and fake information via social context. People can find real news and they can find fake news laid out as real. Therefore, is social media bad? Well, yes, let me tell you why. Social media can lead to depression, anxiety, cyberbullying, lack of sleep, addiction, and so much more. The new digital for 2020 July Global Shot report from Hootsuite and We Are Social reveals that for the first time, more than half the world's population now uses social media. And even shows that 3.96 billion people use social media today, accounting for roughly 51% of the global population. An analyst by the Center for Disease and Control Prevention in August found that the suicide rates among teenage girls from ages 15 to 19 hit a 40-year high. Between 2007 and 2017, the rates doubled among girls and rose by more than 30% among teen boys. Cyberbullying, what is that? Well, it's the use of electronic communication to bully a person, typically by sending messages or intimidating or threatening nature. Have you been experienced by cyberbullying? Well, although social media is addicting, experts have recommended 30 minutes or less per day is the maximum time you should spend on social media. According to 2018, a study published in the Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology, limiting use to 30 minutes a day can lead to better health outcomes. And did you know the number of sexual assaults causes related to social media has increased by almost 300%? That is a lot, and it's super important that we know all of this because this is what we are participating in almost every day. The national survey found that 62% of female responders said that interactions with social media have a negative impact, compared to 50% of male responders. Overall, 60% of those polled believe that social media has a negative impact, while 25% said it has a positive impact. So, let's talk about it. If you knew about all the negative effects of social media, would you still use it? Like knowing it can lead to cyberbullying or even depression? Many of us find ourselves scrolling through Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, whatever it is, and before we knew it, hours have passed and we are often left feeling worse than we did when we started. Being mindful means being more conscious and aware of our patterns. It is important to know how long we are spending on social media and to make sure we aren't spending days, hours on it, because it can really impact our mental health. A way to combat the negative effects of social media is to instead use it in a positive way that strengthens and maintains connections with others. Some include support groups, strengthening relationships, and social integration with similar interest groups. All these are ways you can stop the negative effects of social media and for teens to enjoy it in a positive way. But if certain people's posts make you feel negative and about yourself in any way, then it's fine to totally unfollow or even block them. Social media can influence our mood, anxiety levels, and self-esteem, so taking a few moments to eliminate toxic accounts can be very simple yet very empowering. Although social media does have positives like job offers, a way to create money and a living, and making friends, but is that all worth it knowing that you are in a toxic environment where people suffer each day from hateful comments and so much more? It is so important to be aware of what is happening and how to handle it. One of the main reasons social media is bad for you is because it can affect you and your anxiety. So, anxiety disorders affect 25.1% of children between 13 and 18 years old. Although that may not seem like a lot, I personally experienced anxiety and I would not wish that on anyone. It is something that can really take a toll over your body and make you feel physically sick. Therefore, it's important to put yourself in an environment that is encouraging rather than discouraging. So how can we solve social media? Well, many schools have certain rules where it comes to social media, and some schools have a no bullying policy, but unfortunately that's just not enough. So what can we do, and what are the benefits of the solution? Well, it is important that we have restrictions on sites on what you can post or say, or even take a post down if it's appropriate, or what if there were no restrictions? Imagine if social media had no restrictions. Let me explain. Imagine posting what you want, no matter the language, the clothes you wear, or so much more. Well, first off, once you post something, it will be there forever, and I mean forever. As a teenager, we are still learning, and it is common to make mistakes, but sometimes you can't take them back. Not only that, but imagine social media without an age limit. Would you be okay with a first grader or second grader having social media and causing it to corrupt their innocence? I remember the day I got social media, and I was in 8th grade. I'm so thankful that I got it when I was older because people can be so cruel in that app. So, what are we going to do? Overall, we have seen social media can do something, and the effects it can have on someone or a loved one Would you still participate in it? Social media is known to cause anxiety, depression, lack of sleep, and so much more. So what can you do? 1. Encourage positive behavior on the account. Make sure you are not bringing anyone down, and make sure you're bringing people up. Besides, you never know what someone's going through. And especially when you hide behind a screen, people will say or do things they don't really mean. So it's super important to know what you're talking about. 2. Unfollow any toxic accounts or even block them. There is no need for you to be following anything or anyone that makes you feel less than a person than you really are. Because remember, every one of us is a great, beautiful person. And 3, never let cyberbullying happen. Call them out. Don't let them belittle you. Be the strong person. I think all of this is super important when it comes to social media because social media is such a toxic environment sometimes. It is so important that we are aware of what's happening and that teens should not be using social media. Thank you.